Hey allies, the First Descendant open beta is here and we thought we'd dive in on the ROG Ally considering it's not working at all on the Steam Deck. And actually I'm very surprised at how good this looks and just how well it runs, and we'll look at our best settings in just a second, but the cutscenes and the scenery is just absolutely stunning in this game. And considering it's been around a year since the last beta, this game has massively improved in its feelings and looks as well. As you can see here, we're getting between 30 and 50 frames per second depending on the environment, even with lots of effects and gunplay going off, and some special effects to boot from the Descendant's abilities. However, we do get an error message on launch about it being unstable and below the minimum requirements, but that doesn't stop us playing with some decent settings. Now, just to note, I am running at 900p and with the CPU boost disabled. I'll leave the guides to those in the description below, just in case you can't match the performance here with what we've got running. For the most part, I did run a custom 20 watts for getting the best out of the battery with the best graphics. So with our settings and a slight change to the FSR2 mode, then you will get decent between the battery and on power mode, and I'll show the full power mode as well in a little while too. Even in the hub with lots of players and tons of stuff going on, we're still bouncing between 40 and 50 with these settings at 20 watts, and you can fiddle those slightly if you want to run at 15 watts, but I don't recommend it for this one. So if you are running at 20 watts or under, you want the balanced FSR2 mode, and then most stuff on low, but keep the anti-aliasing, post-processing, effects and shader quality on medium. Otherwise things look a little bit janky, especially with the shader quality down, get some really weird artifacts. But if you're running on power, then you do want to run with the upscaling off, and you'll see why here, that it looks so much clearer, and it still holds between 40 and 50 frames per second a lot of the time, and you don't get the blurriness or jaggedness. But if you are running on battery, then you are going to want to put that FSR2 on to be running at less than 20 watts. But even with that 20 watts and no FSR, it still runs very well, especially with a lot more terrain. Then it does start suffering around the 30 frames per second mark. With no FSR and the other settings that we showed, you will get 30 to 50 frames per second in the heat of combat with all of those special effects popping off, and it is absolutely great fun to play. And of course you can pull in friends to have multiplayer action across all of these missions and dive in onto the open beta, which is still running for a few more days yet if you want to dive in and play before the full release. Let us know in the comments below if you're going to be diving into this one and which Descendant you chose. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.